one hill, two peoples, and a very odd intersection. On a hill, this one, lives two peoples. At its top are the Bnei Avraham. They are the most precious people. The Zera Yaakov Asher Bam Bacharta, the children of Yaakov. I chose them. They are carrying a Mesorah. And they have been schlepping up and down hills for a millennia. At the bottom of the hill live the Bnei Yishmael, descendants of Yishmael, descendants of people of different African nations. And in the middle, of late, a very odd intersection has arisen. Living in the Northwest, we have become familiar. We are students of bumper sticker education. If you take your eyes off the road for but a moment and gaze at the fender in front of you, you will learn a lot of insightful lessons. In the Northwest, we are very aggressive about our pacifism. War is not the answer. I'm already against the next war, and war is evil. The color green finds itself in a great tug-of-war between those who want to save the earth and those who just want to smoke pot. And what must sit atop the 10 Commandments of the Northwest is the teaching of coexistence. That we are meant to coexist with everyone who wants to end our existence. But there, in the middle of the hill, sits something that's so audacious, so provocative. Only the word chutzpah can explain it. For in a car, in the middle of the hill of these two peoples, is a license plate that says, "No God." And we, the children of Avram, Rosh Ma'aminim, he was the first person of Emunah. We are Ma'aminim b'nei Ma'aminim. We are people of Emunah. No God. So of course it makes us think about our Emunah. You will ask, now? Now we are in this Harshios sections of Eschan and Ekev. And now we are getting to the purpose of it all. What's it all for? Yira, the reverence. Ahava, the love. Devekos, attachment. Purpose of the mitzvahs. Emunah, belief. That was the foundation for all the mitzvahs. We're past that. Do not our sages tell us? There's a parable to a king who comes to a land. The people say, make laws for us so we don't live in anarchy. The king says, halt. Before I make laws, first you must accept me. First there is emunah. First there is belief, knowledge in the one God. And then there are other mitzvahs. So what is emunah? The great Jewish philosophers explained emunah as the knowledge of his existence and all the particular beliefs of what a Jew believes. Many came to it through the philosophical dialogue or speculation, asking a question, posing an answer, coming to a certain summit of truth. Onward, it would lead the philosopher until he would know. Other philosophers who rejected philosophy, like the great Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, said no. The path to faith is through tradition. Those who experienced the truth of God transmitted that knowledge, that truth to others. But in Panemius HaTorah, those Sepharim discuss the inner nature of Torah, specifically the Sifrei Chasidus, have a different approach. The knowledge of his existence, this is fine and this is good. But Emunah is something that is altogether different. Not through the brain, and not only by tradition can one know him, but rather through the soul, the neshama. For in the neshama resides a koach of power, known as chachma. Not typical wisdom. Chachma, our Sfarim explain, is comprised of the words koach, ma, the power of what. Chachma is the power to know the what. The what is the undefinable. What is this? I do not know. I cannot give explanation. It's just what. Koach ma is that power in the soul to know the what, the undefinable. God. Emunah rests in the koach of chachma. Our power to know God resides in the power of chachma. We know things through our body. When we are hungry, we are told that by our body. When we are tired, we know that through our body. Our emotions teach us things. When we are loved or valued, we can feel that. Our brain can figure out problems and solutions. And our neshama can know things as well. It knows the unknowable, God. From the soul, it lets it know itself to you through avoda, service, or the act of bringing forth the dormant powers of the soul to the person. But is that all? Emunah is more than that. The Navi Hosea tells us, Ve'rastich li b'emunah v'yadat es Hashem. I will be truth to you, to me, through Emunah, and you will know God. Says Rav Nachman, through Emunah, you will know Hashem. Through Emunah, you will attain hasaga, perception. Not anything perceivable by the mind, but a real perception and a knowledge of God through the soul. Is that all? No. Emunah is more than that. Das, the great Baal HaTanya teaches us, is hischabros and hiskashus, to be bound up and united with something. As David HaMelech says, Va'ani tamid imach, and I am always with you. Emunah is the power of being and living with the truth of Hashem, always. He is with you, you are with him. Tamid, always. That is Emunah. But Emunah is more than that. So Menachem Mendel Vitebsk, Emunah hi hadvekus. Ultimately, knowing God and living God realizes itself in attachment to him. And thus the beginning, the foundation of it all, And the end, the goal of it all, Amunah and Devekos, are united. We are not done with our Amunah. We are pasturing it. Ure'ei Amunah. And what of no God? What do we do with no God? The question was already asked. Hasidim asked one of the great rabbis, how can one serve God without be curses, with denial of God? If everything in the world can be used to serve God, how can one serve God with no God? Answered the Rebbe, when a person is in distress, another Jew is in pain, and they are going through great difficulty, and they need help in some way. We may not say, God will help, or be lazy and think, well, God will help, and I don't need to. So the Rebbe, when someone needs help, then there's no God. Then you have to help him as if there's no God. And you have to jump in all the way to be there for that person. And most probably, that's what that license plate means.